There is an unpleasant reality. Most guys are unaware that women never express themselves clearly. You've been there, perplexed by conflicting cues, wondering if her smile conveys a message. It's not your fault. Today, you will acquire the skill of penetrating the subtle language of attraction that most men employ. Previously, society failed to teach you the art of listening to non-verbal cues. And here's the real deal. Miss, you won't view women the same way after you've mastered this. If you're ready to discover these secrets, leave a comment below stating that you're prepared. They misled you by claiming that women would openly express their feelings and tell you when they liked you. However, the truth is that women don't always use words to communicate. Most men use subtle cues. Disregard the rationale, as women tend to gravitate towards tangible and perceptible elements instead of verbal ones. The best part is that, after you comprehend these three indisputable indicators, you'll notice opportunities you were unaware of. Let's first discuss the importance of this before proceeding. Most guys are frustrated and trapped in a cycle of misinterpreting circumstances and believing they are better than they deserve. Watch until the end, since failing to notice any one of these indicators could result in the loss of the connection you desire. If you're ready, let's delve into the first sign. Number 1. The persistent. A woman's glance is rarely accidental, and men frequently underestimate the power of observation, failing to see the silent stories written in her eyes. But when you learn to read her gaze, you unlock a hidden language that most men, when drawn to you, will never speak. Trust me, they never lie. The lingering glance, a window to the soul. When a woman meets your eyes and holds them there for an extended period of time, she is testing your awareness by asking whether you are strong enough to see me and intelligent enough to understand what I'm saying without using words. A lingering glance is more than simply a look. It's a question, a message, or a challenge. The majority of males fail this test because they look away, doubt themselves, or dismiss it as a coincidence. You're here to soar above that cacophony, not like most men. Let's be clear that a brief glance is not the same as a lingering one. The former is unintentional. A fleeting glance lacks depth, yet it carries weight, purpose, curiosity, and occasionally even a desire to pay attention to the details. This is where most men go wrong. They either overreact, believing every glance to be a declaration of love, or they underreact, unaware that the truth is in the balance. The gentleness in her expression, the warmth in her eyes, the way her focus keeps returning to you even when she pretends not to notice. She's not just looking, she's evaluating, and the man who recognizes this stands out as a man who understands. The next time you catch her gaze lingering, it's your duty to accept it with calm assurance rather than charging in like a fool or ignoring it completely. A lingering glance is an invitation, but it's not an open door. It's her way of saying, "I see you. Do you see me too?" Hold her gaze for a moment longer than feels natural, just long enough to let her know you've noticed, then slowly break eye contact with a small smile. Take this chance to show her your stability, confidence, and emotional control. Don't look away or second-guess yourself. The key to confidence in this situation is being present and showing her that you're a man who values connection. However, don't confuse confidence with neediness. Confidence says, "I see you, but I don't need you." This subtle yet powerful distinction distinguishes men who captivate from those who chase a woman's lingering glance. If you panic or overreact, you fail. If you remain calm and curious, you've passed. Women respect men who remain composed in the face of ambiguity. Now, let's discuss a common fear that most men refuse to acknowledge: the fear of being wrong. The fear that holding her gaze will make them appear awkward or creepy. However, this fear is not about her, but rather about yourself. Why should she trust you if you lack self-confidence? Imagine you're at a pub and she stares at you not once, not twice, but 3 times. The man who captures her attention isn't the one who questions everything he does, but rather the one who moves forward with quiet assurance. Her eyes aren't casual. They linger a heartbeat longer each time she gives you a green light, but they're not the typical ones you see on the street. Instead, they're subtle and nearly undetectable. If you're not looking, you'll miss it, but you're not. There's a man who longs for these types of circumstances. The biological truth is that when someone is interested in you, their pupils dilate. This isn't a conscious choice. Rather, it's a reaction. Her body communicates what she wants you to know, and when you act as though you're interested but not desperate, you'll notice that her pupils are slightly larger than usual. Her eyes are also showing signs that her attraction is genuine, such as a softness in her expression or a warmth that wasn't there before. These signs are ones that most men overlook, but the lingering glance isn't just about attraction, it's about vulnerability. When a woman holds your gaze, she's revealing a side of herself that she usually keeps hidden. She's inviting you into her world, if only briefly. Ignoring your reaction tells her she shouldn't have trusted you. Overreacting tells her you're not the guy she thought you were. The appropriate response is cool, collected, and deliberate. Consider the last time a woman's eyes lingered on you. Did you notice? Was it acknowledged, or did your worries take over? You don't have to be that man. You can choose to see what others don't, to act when others pause. This isn't just limited to women. Most men would never acknowledge it, but they allow these moments to pass through their fingers every day. When you realize the power of this moment, you become a man who notices, acts, and seizes what others let slip away. It involves how you present yourself, recognize opportunities, handle challenges, and carry yourself when no one is looking. It's more than just a test of attraction. It's a mirror reflecting your own self-awareness. Are you the type of man who sees what's in front of him, or the kind who lives life without seeing possibilities? Some guys may dismiss this as insignificant, claiming it's just a glance. But you understand that the most significant opportunities often arise in the smallest moments. A glance is more than just a glance. It's an opportunity to connect, understand, and lead. And if you're the type of man who values connection, you won't let these moments pass unnoticed. If this feels uncomfortable, it's always a sign of good growth. If you're questioning yourself, that's a sign you're paying attention. You're different from most men. You're learning and developing into a man who sees what others don't, and it starts with the lingering glance. When words are insufficient, the second tactic is the delicate touch. Primal, powerful, and ancient, it's a language we all speak, but so few understand. A woman's touch is never random. It's deliberate, intentional, and often far more revealing than anything she says. Most men are oblivious to this. They don't understand the significance of a casual brush of the hand or a soft nudge on the arm. They dismiss it as if it's nothing, thinking it's just friendly, but that touch wasn't casual and it wasn't meaningless. It was a signal, a bold, silent declaration of interest that most men are blind to. You're not most men, and after this you'll never miss those signals again. When a woman touches you, no matter how lightly, she's breaking a boundary. Think about it. Touch is sacred. It's the first sense we develop, and the one most closely tied to trust and safety. For her to reach out, even in the smallest way, means she's testing the waters. She's gauging your reaction. Will you notice? Will you welcome it? Or will you freeze and fail to see the gift she's offering? Make no mistake. Her touch is a gift, and whether she gives it to you again depends on how you react to it. Imagine this. As she leans in to speak and laugh in a group setting, she lightly touches your forearm. Most men would dismiss this as being courteous, but it was deliberate. She wasn't touching anyone else in the room at the time, but she chose you, and that touch is a bridge, a connection she's building with you, brick by brick. And each time you ignore her or don't react, you're tearing down that bridge. Touch is her risk, not just attraction, but vulnerability. When she touches you, she's taking a chance and revealing a part of herself that she's not sure you'll understand. Her touch isn't random. Rather, it's a decision she makes because she feels safe with you, and safety is everything. It's the cornerstone of connection. However, most men make the mistake of overreacting. When they finally notice her touch, they cling to it, making a big deal out of it, or trying to replicate it right away, which destroys the moment. A woman uses slight touch to communicate that she is opening the door. Will you enter or will you slam it? Be composed, confident, and calm in your response. Acknowledge her without exaggerating it. If she touches your arm, allow your hand to remain lightly on hers for a brief moment before removing it. This reciprocity demonstrates that you are attentive, comfortable, and involved. Touch has psychological as well as physical power. Even the slightest touch can establish feelings of trust and connection, according to studies. Her body releases the bonding hormone oxytocin when she touches you, a natural reaction to intimacy that is uncontrollable. By responding warmly and understanding to her touch, you strengthen the bond. By ignoring it, you break it. When a woman touches you, she's not just saying, "I like you," but "I want to feel closer to you." That's a profound statement that goes far beyond words. It's an invitation to deepen the connection and move beyond the surface. Now think about how touch functions in your own life. How often do you reach out to someone you don't trust? We rarely, if at all, reserve touch for those we feel drawn to and want to be close to. Her touch is even more significant. It's a daring move, not merely a sign of interest. Women don't take rejection well, so let's examine why touch is so powerful and why it's not just about chemistry or hormones. She's leaving her comfort zone, putting herself in danger, and hoping you'll meet her halfway. You're rejecting her effort and missing an opportunity if you don't see this. It's the oldest and most honest form of communication because it taps into something primal that existed before language itself. When a woman touches you, she is releasing her guard, even for a brief moment, to enable you to fulfill your role as a man. You should respect this moment and acknowledge it as a signal, a gift, or a step forward. Don't ignore it or give it too much thought. The quiet, delicate language of touch, rather than large gestures or dramatic admissions, forms relationships. Be present and experience the intensity of her contact and how it lingers long after she draws away. The majority of men would never acknowledge it, but they allow these moments to slip away every day. You can see and feel what others don't without being that man. When was the last time a woman touched you? Did you notice? Did you react? Touch isn't just a sign of attraction, it's a test of awareness. Are you present enough to notice the smallest gestures? Are you confident enough to answer without hesitation? These are the questions her touch is asking, and your responses will determine whether she opens up further or withdraws. This goes beyond women to how you move and interact with others. When you learn to recognize and respond to her touch, you're not just improving your relationships, you're transforming them. You show her you're different from other men by respecting her attempt to connect and seeing her as she is. By doing this, you're forging a bond that transcends words and is based on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. Women respect men who are sensitive to the subtleties of connection. Be the man who sees, feels, and connects. That's what makes you unique. Her touch is a doorway. Walk through it with assurance, presence, and the knowledge that you're receiving something unique and valuable. Don't let that moment pass you by without acknowledging her effort. This is the third unspoken element that makes you unforgettable. The unspoken praise. A quiet honor of you. Say that not all appreciation is shown verbally. Sometimes the greatest and most profound attraction and interest appear silently and without sound. If you know how to spot it, unsaid praise is one of the most powerful signals you'll ever receive. A woman who loves you will express it through her actions, energy, and response. Women are masters of subtlety. They don't always express their admiration out loud, but if you pay attention, you'll notice it in the way she lights up when you're around, the way she listens intently when you speak, the way her body leans slightly forward, fully engaged, and the way she remembers even the smallest details about you. You might have forgotten that a woman who silently celebrates you is expressing her interest without disclosing why, as she's testing you to see if you're perceptive enough to notice what most men miss. This isn't just a gesture, it's a challenge. Women respect men who are aware of their surroundings. If you are unable to read her non-verbal cues, she won't feel comfortable confiding in you with her more intense feelings. When you recognize the unspoken compliment, you show her that you get past the obvious and can communicate subtly, making you stand out from other men. Imagine this. You accomplish something, perhaps a minor victory, or something you didn't even consider significant, and she responds as though it were a monumental accomplishment. She looks at you with genuine pride and a smile that says, "I see your effort, and I respect it." She may even mention it in front of others, not to brag, but because she wants them to see the value she already sees in you. This isn't flattery. Rather, it's her way of letting you know that she sees your strengths, growth, and potential. In a world where confetti is used to show admiration, genuine unspoken compliments are uncommon. They're about connection, not just admiration. Respect is the cornerstone of any positive relationship, but this is where most men falter. A woman who values you enough to subtly acknowledge your accomplishments is demonstrating to you something more profound than infatuation. These unspoken compliments matter most, and ignoring them could break the relationship. They are so preoccupied with hearing direct validation that they miss the subtle ways women communicate. They miss the way her eyes light up when you succeed, the way she quietly defends you in conversations, and the way she devotes her time and energy to supporting your goals. When a woman shows her interest in you without asking for anything in return, she is putting herself in a vulnerable position and saying, "I have faith in you," without overtly showing it. This is how she evaluates your awareness, gratitude, and leadership skills. A man who comprehends this not only garners her attention, but also earns her respect. However, mere acknowledgement is not sufficient in itself. How you handle the unspoken compliment is important when she quietly supports you. Don't take it for granted. Express your genuine gratitude and let her know you appreciate her efforts. This doesn't mean praising her excessively or elevating her. Rather, it means letting her know that you appreciate what she does for you and that you don't ignore the things she does to make you feel better. For example, if you're having a difficult day and she notices without you saying anything, she doesn't ask you a lot of questions or try to solve the issue. Instead, she offers a small gesture of support, a consoling touch, a kind word, or even just being there. The purest form of an unspoken compliment is when she shows you that she understands your wants and is on your side. This type of connection is rare, and most men will never experience it because they don't know how to recognize it. What she does and doesn't do for you is the unspoken compliment. She doesn't try to outdo you or compete with you. Instead, she makes room for your development and celebrates your accomplishments without making them about herself. This type of admiration is incredibly powerful and selfless. The unspoken compliment also serves as a mirror, reflecting how she sees you but also how you see yourself if you don't believe in your own value. You'll struggle to recognize her subtle admiration. You'll dismiss her actions as insignificant or fail to understand their meaning. But when you know your value, when you truly believe in your own potential, you'll see her silent support for what it is, a sign of genuine respect and attraction. So how do you cultivate this awareness? Start by paying attention to the small, all things. Notice the way she reacts when you speak, the way she invests her time and energy into understanding you, the way she shows up for you without expecting anything in return. These aren't random acts, they're deliberate, intentional, and deeply meaningful. And when you respond with equal intentionality, you create a dynamic of mutual respect and admiration that few men ever achieve. Remember, the unspoken compliment isn't just about her. It's about you. It's about your ability to recognize value, to appreciate effort, and to lead with gratitude. A woman who silently celebrates you is offering you something rare and precious. Don't squander it. Don't overlook it. Be the kind of man who sees, who understands, who values. The truth is that most men will never get the importance of an unspoken compliment. Instead, they will live their entire lives seeking loud confirmation, losing the silent appreciation that is most important. However, you are not like most men. You're here because you're willing to see what others can't see, to understand what others won't see, because you understand that true connection isn't about words, but about actions, intentions, and the silent language of respect. This is your opportunity to rise above the crowd and cultivate the kind of man who inspires admiration without seeking it, who acknowledges value without the need for explicit expression. The unspoken compliment is your signal. Pay attention to it, respond to it, and use it to build relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and understanding, because in the end, that's what really makes you stand out. Conclusion. When it comes to attraction, real connections are quiet, subtle, and frequently hidden in plain sight. However, you stand out from most men as you're developing the ability to notice subtle cues, such as lingering glances, subtle touches, and unspoken compliments. These signals are not merely indications of interest, but rather a way for her to express her desire for reciprocation. This knowledge is only effective if you put it to use. Pay attention, be present, and recognize the signals when they appear. If you're prepared to put what you've learned into practice, leave a comment below with the words, "I see the unseen." Also, remember that your support matters. By subscribing, you're not only helping this channel, but also making this content available to more men who need it. Please like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear these facts. This is your chance to dispel any doubts you may have had about reading the signs. Turn on alerts and subscribe to this channel. Take advantage of this knowledge. I'll see you in the upcoming video.